how desperate is Fox right now? Well, during the speech by Vice President Kamala Harris at the Ellipse in front of over 75,000 people, when Fox was broadcasting it, here were the chyrons that they were showing. This is real. They had, it's a desperate Kamala, closing message all about Trump. The next chyron, Kamala, elect me to fix my mistakes. The next chyron, these were flashing as she was giving her speech. Kamala makes her case after 4 years of chaos. The next chyron, Kamala closes with fear and fascism. So as Donald Trump's literally saying he wants to be dictator on day one, talking about invoking the Alien Enemies Act to throw people who disagree with him into camps, when he talks about rounding people up in a bloody deportation exercise, this is how Fox is broadcasting to its audience. And they masquerade as a news network, but they would make Kim Jong-un blush with this unadulterated propaganda. But to me, it just shows how desperate they are getting, how scared they are, because they're escalating this in a way that looks cartoonish, in a way that looks clownish. Let me give you further examples from the past day. Here we have Maria Bartiromo, again, conducting this interview that, again, would make Kim Jong-un blush. Like Kim Jong-un and Putin wish they had this type of clownish propaganda that just says anything. Watch what Fox is doing. Play this clip.
Just to be blunt, they want somebody who's going to support President Trump. Are those two supportive of President Trump, or is Rick Scott really the supporter of President Trump?
No, I think they all are supporters of President Trump. They've all had conversations with him. They've appeared with him. And
by the way, that was Maria Bartiromo, who's embroiled in all of the defamation lawsuits against Fox that they had to settle back in 2020 for nearly $1 billion. Here is Fox Business as the stock market was closing at record highs. Fox then, they turn over their coverage of the market, which they can't deny what the market actually is saying. So they pass the coverage over to Larry Kudlow, one of their hosts who worked for Donald Trump. And then Kudlow literally, as they're saying that the stock market's record highs, goes, Kamala broke it, Trump will fix it. Again, this is just unadulterated North Korea style propaganda. Watch for yourself. Play the clip.
You're hearing those closing bells. Again, a little bit higher pretty much on all of the indices. Not quite at records, but trying to get closer. That'll do it for Claiming Countdown. Kudlow's next.
Hello, folks. Welcome to Kudlow. I'm Larry Kudlow. So, President Trump, electrifying, strong closing message to the nation last night at Madison Square Garden. Kamala broke it. Trump will fix it.
And by the way, the stock market right now, which is the main indicator for like Larry Kudlow and all of these Fox business people, it's up like 55 to 60% from when Donald Trump was in office. Remember Donald Trump saying that it would crash, there'd be a Great Depression, that he was rooting for a Great Depression? Well, that didn't happen. The stock market's up. Your 401k is undoubtedly up from when Trump was in office. And wages are up right now. We've gotten inflation under control, by the way, which was caused by Donald Trump adding $8 trillion in debt and printing money recklessly. $8 trillion in debt Donald Trump added, more than or close to 30% of all debt in the history of the United States. But they're going with after 4 years of chaos. Maybe on Fox when you want to spread lies every single day, or when Donald Trump tries to use natural disasters as a wedge issue to try to divide us, or when Donald Trump tells MAGAs to kill immigration bills, or when bipartisan immigration bills in the House of Representatives and in the Senate, or when Donald Trump leads an insurrection. But here's Fox creating chaos. Here's another graphics package that they have right here. So as they try to attack Democrats, it says, like, they go over the Democrats who are senators or running, that goes, here is their extremism exposed. So Fox is saying this is what's extremism, that Jackie Rosen supports an assault weapon ban. In other words, that you shouldn't be able to bring AR-15s to schools, and that there should be common sense gun reform, which about 75% of Americans actually agree with, but Fox wants you to believe that's extremism right there. Oh, and also Jackie Rosen supports Obamacare, aka the Affordable Care Act, which provided people with protections who had pre-existing conditions, has allowed 30 to 40 million Americans to get health care where they may otherwise have died. You want me to tell you what extremism is? Extremism is saying that you want to repeal Obamacare, aka the Affordable Care Act, which people depend on to live, with concepts. We've got concepts. Let's rip away people's health care with our concepts. That's what Donald Trump said at the debate. That's extremism. But here, Fox, as the propaganda network, wants to package Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act as extremism. I'm going to tell you what's extremism also. Under Donald Trump's plan, you lose your Social Security in 6 freaking years. 6 years. Say goodbye to your Social Security. Why is that a shocker, though? Donald Trump's bankrupted everything else. Under all independent analysis, Donald Trump would cause Social Security to run out in 6 years. So just think, how many years until you're supposed to get Social Security? Do you rely on Social Security? Wave it goodbye under Donald Trump. To me, taking away we the people Social Security, we pay into it, that's extremism to me. But Fox isn't going to go and say that. Take a look at this weird scene too when Fox is trying to cover the Trump events, and it's so bizarre because Fox doesn't want to like cut in when Donald Trump is like saying hateful and racist stuff. So they're like, oh, should we cut it now? Should we cut it now? Because they're trying to stage this with his team. Let's play it.
Wow. Very moving there. The former president continues.
Oh, then you have Melania Trump on because, again, this is Kim Jong-un style propaganda. So they have Melania on. Just watch this.
But you had projects as well. Do you feel like you got to accomplish everything you wanted in the White House?
We did a lot, but it's still, it never ends. It's so much to do and to take care of the staff and also the country and our next generation, our children. I accomplished a lot with Be Best and brought Be Best internationally as well. But so much to do. And so many new issues will come in 2025. We never know what will come. Yeah. And children are suffering. We need to help them and educate them.
Support for today's episode comes from OneSkin. Did you have a little too much fun in the sun this summer? It's no secret that UV rays can take a toll on our skin, leaving it dry, tired, and less vibrant. If you want to hit the undo button on UV-induced aging, say hello to OneSkin, your secret weapon against the summer's toll on your skin. OneSkin products are all powered by the revolutionary OS01 peptide. This proprietary peptide is scientifically proven to reduce dysfunctional, also called senescent cells, a central source of skin aging. Their scientists have shown that it could actually reverse the biological age of skin by several years in their groundbreaking research. Healthier, more youthful looking skin doesn't just look great, which we all want, obviously, but it's good for your overall health too. As the leaves change color this fall, help your skin undergo its own transformation with OneSkin. Their products work tirelessly to repair, rejuvenate, and erase the signs of summer damage, ensuring you step into this new season with the healthiest skin of your life. Head over to oneskin.co and explore how their products can become your skin's new savior. And for a limited time, our listeners can get 15% off OneSkin with code MIDAS at oneskin.co. That code is MEIDAS. Personally, I've been using OneSkin on my face, and I've noticed a real difference in how my skin looks and feels. I wasn't sure what to expect at first, but I was pleasantly surprised by how rejuvenated and hydrated my skin became. And it's not just about my appearance, my skin actually feels healthier. Here's a wild stat. In a third-party 12-week clinical study performed by contract research organization, OS01 Face was clinically proven to strengthen the skin barrier, improve skin health markers, and diminish visible signs of aging. Wrinkles were diminished in 87% of users. OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company. OneSkin addresses skin health at the molecular level, targeting the root causes of aging so skin behaves, feels and appears younger. It's time to get started with your new face, eye, and body routine at a discounted rate today. Get 15% off with the code MIDAS at oneskin.co. That's 15% off at oneskin.co with code MEIDAS. After you purchase, they're going to ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. We only have one body, one skin, and only you can choose to make it better. Age healthy with OneSkin.
And then, you want to talk about what Fox is doing to try to push Donald Trump. They're basically a campaign arm. They are a campaign arm of Donald Trump, in my opinion. And here, Trump goes on Hannity, and he goes, rather than say, hey, I'm sorry about what happened, what my speaker said about Puerto Rico, that's not what Donald Trump says. He goes, they kiss me in Puerto Rico. They kiss me. That's what they do. They love me. Every time I'm there, they kiss me. Why do you turn it into kissing? Everything he says is demented. Here, play this clip.
With Hispanics, but I've had really great relationship with Puerto Rico and people from Puerto Rico. They love. Every time I go outside, I see somebody from Puerto Rico. They give me a hug and a kiss.
Then Donald Trump talks about Elon Musk cutting 1/3 of all government services. And he goes, nobody's going to feel it when Elon Musk cuts 1/3 of all of the government services. Play this clip.
What will role for Elon Musk?
So Elon has a lot of roles he could take because he's a very exceptional guy. But he has a thing. He feels there's such waste, fraud, and abuse in our budgets. And he's right.
By the way, Elon Musk has said that people will suffer, but then they will learn to enjoy it. That's Elon Musk's own words. People will suffer at first, but then you will like it. But expect suffering to start. Why? Why do you want to do this to yourself? Why is this something, the rich people, they'll get richer, but why would anybody else want this? Well, if you watch the Fox Chyrons, they're saying this is extremism. They're saying Kamala Harris is talking about fascism. That's on the Chiron and it's called news. No, it ain't news. It is propaganda at its most crass and base form. And then here, Donald Trump, as Aaron Rupar says, I don't think he's beating the allegations talking like this. Let's play it.
They accuse me of being a Hitler-type guy.
Then Donald Trump says that global warming isn't real. Let's play it.
But if the ocean rises 1/8 of an inch over the next 500 years, we'll handle that. What we don't want is global warming of the nuclear variety, and that could happen tomorrow.
So then you have RFK Jr., who goes, Donald Trump's the opposite of Nazism. Let's play it.
During the speech by one comedian, and the crowd, I was in the crowd at that time, and they groaned. These were not,
no one was laughing.
Nobody was laughing, and there was so much joy in the room, and optimism, and patriotism, and idealism about our country, and it was the opposite of Nazism, and the need to use that most evocative and explosive and incendiary and poisonous reference.
You have a MAGA Republican congresswoman on who has to lie about Madison Square Garden's attendance. Madison Square Garden only holds 19,000 people. Still a lot of people, but they have to go. There were 50,000 people in there. No, there wasn't. There was 75,000 people at the Ellipse that you could count. You can't put 50,000 people in a 20,000 person arena, but there they go. Oh, more Fox Chyrons right here. He's not Hitler is one of the Chyrons. Trump is the opposite of a Nazi. Trump says he is the opposite of a Nazi. That's another Chiron. Can we watch, though, Vice President Kamala Harris' speech with a normal Chiron, this one on MSNBC? Harris delivers closing argument speech. Okay, that's what it is. She delivers it. Play the clip.
America, for too long, we have been consumed with too much division, chaos, and mutual distrust. And it can be easy then to forget a simple truth. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. It is time to stop pointing fingers. We have to stop pointing fingers and start locking arms. It is time to turn the page on the drama and the conflict, the fear and division. It is time for a new generation of leadership in America. to offer that leadership as the next President of the United States of America.
And then finally, here RFK Jr. Says what he's going to be doing in schools if Donald Trump wins. I think it's important to note as well that RFK Jr. has also confirmed that as part of his deal to support Donald Trump, Trump said he would allow him to control all of the health services. So he would oversee all of health services. Again, he's someone who believes that vaccines aren't real and don't work. And he would also control the Department of Agriculture. So HHS and Department of Agriculture, 2 cabinet positions were promised to RFK Jr., which I think is probably one of the scariest stories of all. Here's RFK Jr. play it.
Hey, Janelle, what is your question?
About 100,000 schools participate in the USDA's national lunch program during the year. If you're given a position by the Trump administration in the agricultural department, what will you do to improve school lunches?
I'll get processed food out of school lunch immediately. About half the school lunch program goes to processed food. About 70% of food stamps go to processed food. 10% of food stamps go to sugar drinks, to sodas. We're creating diabetes problem in our kids by giving them food that's poison, and I'm going to stop that.
Robert, we got to let you go. But quick question. You were talking about the difference from the McDonald's here versus another country, or the Fruit Loops here versus another country. What's the reason why? Like, if they know how to make it already, why aren't we doing it?
It's because it's cheaper for them to put the chemicals.
It's a cost.
Yeah, and President Trump wants to get the chemicals out. And he wants to make us healthy because in the long run, that's cheaper for our country.
Right.
It's America.
So I think as you watch that, I hope you agree that that is some unadulterated propaganda. And I hope it just wakes you up, and maybe, family members, friends, colleagues, coworkers, neighbors, you can wake them up too and go, what is that? Like, they're playing you. They're treating their audience like fools. And they're doing it on purpose. They're laundering the lies over and over again. And they're not news. It is embarrassing propaganda. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the Midas Touch newsletter at MidasTouch.com/newsletter.